just this is going to be a focus in between that I would love to just kind of put out there for all of you. And maybe you could write it down on like a sticky note or something. But it's just this idea that you can change your mind. And it's like it's a big deal and it's a little deal, but maybe about 3 years ago, when it was there was just a lot going on for in my inner world. I was worrying about a lot of things, and I have this like 20-minute drive to my office. And on the drive, I just be like, I was basically like I was going in the car. I knew I was going to just sit there and worry all the way down, and then I was going to see my clients and worry all the way home. And I really thought I needed to like figure things out. Like there were situations going on that like I was just having a hard time with. And I was, like, yeah, obsessively thinking. And I just had this idea, and I was writing at the time, writing my book. And I had this idea of like, what if I just decided to stop thinking about what I was thinking about and write? I love writing. And it was this epiphany. It was like, can I just do that? Can I put down a thought cluster that feels so urgent and so important? Can I just like act? Can I just put it down and think about something else? And I wanted that to be true. That's what I had been learning about and talking about and teaching about and learning about, the idea that we can change our mind. But I still was having a lot of concern about actually doing it, because what I felt was that I was like on to something as I was thinking. I was like, no, I'm figuring this out. No, I'm getting to the bottom of this by ruminating and like trying to understand things and trying to understand myself more. And often though, I just like get to my office and be like, oh my God, how do I get back centered before I talk to my first client? Like, how do I? And I just, it was like an experiment that I was willing to run. Can I get in my car? And how I like to write is I take out my phone, I open up a note or a draft, and I hit my microphone button, and I write by talking. And so it was this experiment of, okay, instead of thinking about these things going on that I don't really know how to solve at the moment, I'm going to shift my whole focus to writing a chapter on like uh, my first sexual encounter and what I wish I could have done differently, or the insights I had about that. And just like I'd pour it into this thing I was writing, my book. And every day, that's what I did. And it was like this experiment of like, would all these things that I'm worrying about from the past and the future, would they work out? Would they be okay without me obsessively thinking about them? Would would they still get handled? And it's kind of like that cut idea of like heal, 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 heal. Like, does it really take my attention? Sneeze, come on, sneeze. Like, do I really need to be doing that? And that's kind of how I think about it now when I start like fixating on something. I'm looking at something like, come on, heal, heal, heal. Figure it out, find the solution. And when I notice I'm doing that, I'm just like, can I just change my mind, please? Can I just think about anything else and trust that I'm not avoiding something? In fact, I'm giving my system a chance to handle it all on its own. I'm like giving it up in a way. It's like, here, take this. I don't know what to do about it right now. When I start thinking about it, I start feeling anxiety or stress or guilt or worry. Those feelings for me are indicators that I need to like take my hand off the stove. And I had this sticky note on my steering wheel: change your mind. That's what I had stuck on there. And I still have it around. It's like this old crinkly post-it note that I take with me at times. But it's just this reminder that by there are things that we can think about if we're not, it's like it's a kind of a way of helping ourselves if we really feel like we want some help. Because there's a lot of layers. It's like you can see thoughts that don't feel good and just be like, oh, that's what I'm doing to myself. I'm doing that. I'm thinking about things that happened and I feel just waking up to that can be good enough, can be like, oh, okay, that's what's going on. I'm not being chased by a bear that I need to be running from and afraid of. If I'm not actually, if I look behind, if I'm feeling fear and I look behind and there's not a bear, I'm doing it to myself. That's like, I know some of you have heard me say this. I'll do that. I will, like, if I'm feeling anxiety, I will just make myself like look behind and see if there's actually, oh, there's not. Okay, this is self-induced right now. Sorry, self. But there are things that if it's not that simple, if you can't just look behind and be like, no bear, okay, I'm doing it to myself, well, I'm still in a lot of pain. Like, if that doesn't alleviate it and kind of make you laugh, it can be nice to know you can just change your mind, and what you focus on, you'll feel. What you focus on mentally, you're going to feel. And if you're going through a rough patch, like, I would make feeling good a priority. I would make that, like, and that's really what the, like, let's say there's homework between now and next week. That's really the homework. Make feeling good a priority, which means take your hand off the stove if you're noticing you're feeling revved up inside. And the wake up is really, it's not the outside world creating the upset, it's the fixating I'm doing in my brain right now, my mind. So I can take my hand off the stove by changing my mind. Let me think about puppies. Let me think about anything that feels uplifting to me. I mean, and just so you all know, my path up till now has been deep, intensive psychotherapy. I'm trained in that. And what I've noticed over time is that there is value at times in going into the trauma and hitting the pillows and the snot and the memories and there is value in that at times. But what I feel like I keep seeing is just having a moment of clarity of like, I am whole and complete. I am healthy. I am wise. I am supported right now. The only thing that gets in between me and me knowing that are these thoughts that come in that say there's something wrong. There's something that needs fixing. That didn't go the way I thought it would. That must be something wrong with me. It's like debris on the screen. There's an experience that was painful. There was, there's, most of us have had like shit go down in our lives in some way, like in a real way. I'm not saying there aren't things that are just like devastating on a heartfelt level, but what I am saying is that healing can happen anyway, and it happens quicker and deeper, I believe, when we're going in from this understanding that we've never been hurt, harmed, or damaged in a permanent way. Like the essence of who we are, alive and well and vibrant and fully operating, fully functional. And then we have memory that comes in, and worries and doubts, and it just like clouds our vision. I was going to the bathroom, I came back, I'm like, let me just say like one sentence and then we'll watch the videos. It's like 10 minutes later. All right, I hope this is helpful in some way, what I'm saying. So